Folks, you know when you're watching cop shows or any show with a cop, and they do that thing where it's like, you got the right to remain goddamn silent, you son of a bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Well, those are about to become extremely inaccurate. Expected reversal of Miranda requires states to step up on policing? What? With all eyes are focused on the recently leaked draft of the Supreme Court opinion on Dobbs v. Jackson's Women's Health Organization, which would end constitutional protections for abortion rights, a lesser-known case looks likely to erode another constitutional precedent. Miranda rights? The case Vega v. Teco asks whether a person's federal constitutional rights are violated if a police officer fails to inform them of their rights to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney, and to be protected against self-incrimination whenever the person is subjected to a custodial interrogation by the police. These warnings, known as Miranda warnings, after the 1966 Supreme Court case that first prescribed them, have become critical protections against coercive police interrogations and are routinely recited by officers whenever they make arrests or question suspects in custody. The Supreme Court, get the fuck out of here. The Supreme Court now seems poised to reverse this decision in Miranda, which, much like Dobbs, would give states and, to a significant extent, individual towns, the power to decide an important question of policy, where the police should be legally required to give these warnings. And of course, we know that every Republican town and every Republican state are going to say, fuck that shit. Or they're going to mandate, like, a police lie in their warning or something. You know, they'll do some crazy fucking shit. Although some state high courts have issued rulings that mirror the Supreme Court's original decision in Miranda, the future of constitutional policing in a world where Miranda is overturned truly lies with state legislatures who can decide to enact laws that mirror the original Miranda vote to overrule any state high court that already does so, freeing themselves to reshape one of the policing's most central restrictions. Whether one agrees with the overturning of Miranda's constitutional protections, the ruling shines light on the power of each state to reimagine blah, blah, blah. Who cares? States should... okay, fuck off. Yeah, most commonly. Okay. Alright, so the rest is just, like, what states can do. And it boils down to, like, Democrats doing anything, which they won't. And then, like, Republicans are just going to take full advantage and fuck everyone up. But again, we're fucked, folks. I don't know what to tell you. This Republican Supreme Court... I don't know, man. It's almost like we need to do something about it. Does anyone remember? I want to, like, tell a story from way, way back. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, I'm 26, right? So how far back can this story go? Well, I'm going to tell a story way, way back. Tyler, you know, in the chat probably was an infant when this was happening. So, way, way back. All right, so back in the day, during the 2020 campaign. Do y'all remember when Democrats were talking about packing the court after Brett Kavanaugh? Remember that? Like, so, like, in the Democratic primary in 2019 and 2020. Do you remember them talking about packing the court? And then remember when, like, Amy Coney Barrett was added to the court and then Democrats were like, oh, we're going to win election and we're going to pack the court. Remember that? You had, like, people like Pete Buttigieg going up there and saying, yeah, we should have like 20 justices. You remember that shit? It seems like a dream. It seems like a distant dream. But I do remember that happening, and that was 2 years ago. In some areas, 3 years ago. And this is what this is what happens when Democrats talk about doing stuff and then don't actually do anything. Like, I remember seeing a poll when Amy Coney Barrett was added to the court. There was like 50% of Democrats endorsed Amy Coney Barrett's adding to the court. Like, voters. Isn't that crazy? 50% of Democratic voters, like, at the time in October of 2020, were like, oh, she seems nice. We're fucked. I mean, again, Americans are fucking stupid. They're just dumb motherfuckers. So they vote for stupid motherfuckers and then never hold them accountable. This is what happens when you don't actually do anything. When you've got a gushing, gaping wound, you got your fucking guts sawed out with a fucking chainsaw, Democrats aren't even gonna throw a Band-Aid on that bitch. They're gonna, like, sing you a lullaby as you pass the fuck out and bleed out while your intestines are fucking dripping all over the fucking pavement or wherever you are. We're fucked. Anyway, so Miranda rights, goodbye. Abortion rights, goodbye. Gay rights, goodbye. Trans rights, bye-bye. Have a good one. Don't forget to write. And is anyone going to do anything about it? Oh, nope. We're fucked.